wanted to take a moment just to talk about the present perfect tense in Spanish. And in English, we translate this present perfect as has or have done, blah, 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 blah. So I have eaten, he or she has gone, so on and so forth. And obviously, in Spanish, we have all these regular tenses. You have the present, you have the past, you have the future, but there are also perfect tenses, and those perfect tenses tend to use a helping verb. In this case, the helping verb we're going to be talking about is the verb haber. Haber is our helping verb, and it's going to be translated as has or have in this context. So, as we look at conjugating haber, we see various conjugations here. You have has, a, hemos, habéis, and an. So I have, blah, 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 blah. Us, you have, blah, 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 blah. A, he or she has, blah, 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 blah. Hemos, habéis, and an. It's important that you remember these and also that you memorize these and also that you remember how to pronounce them. This is not he has ha, okay? It should be as, a, hemos, habéis, an. Now, what follows this helping verb is a participle. And our participles in Spanish are formed by removing the AR and adding ado, by removing the ER, IR and adding ido, or by removing, in some cases, when you have two vowels side by side, you add an accent on the I as well. And there are some that we'll talk about that do that, like leer, that becomes leído. But let's stick to the regulars for now. You have your AR and ER and IR. So take a basic verb that you've seen many times in Spanish, like hablar. And let's chop off that AR in hablar. We get hablado. So hablar was normally to speak. When we removed the AR, we ended up with hablado or spoken as our participle. Notice that spoken does not change. So whether you're saying I have spoken, you have spoken, he or she has spoken, spoken does not change, and it's the same in Spanish. What does change is this helping verb, the form of haber. So, he hablado, I have spoken. Has hablado, he or she has spoken. Hemos hablado, we have spoken. I think I skipped one there. He hablado, I have spoken. Has hablado, you have spoken. And ha hablado, he or she has spoken. So, notice that spoken, hablado, doesn't change. It is the haber form that does change. So, be careful with that. Now, as with everything else in Spanish, there are some irregulars. These are the irregulars for you. You have hacer, which becomes hecho. Decir becomes dicho. Ver becomes visto. Escribir, escrito. Like, he escrito muchos ensayos en mi vida. I've written a lot of essays. Poner becomes puesto. Yo he puesto las llaves en el escritorio. I've placed the keys on the desk. Poner puesto. Abrir, abierto. La tienda ha abierto. The store is opened. Cubrir, cubierto. Describir, descrito. Descubrir, descubierto. Devolver, devuelto. Volver, vuelto. Satisfacer, satisfecho. Morir, muerto. Resolver, resuelto. Romper, roto, and freír, frito. This is a lot, right? So the best thing to do here is to memorize these. Some students like to make flashcards and whatnot. I have a little acronym here that I think will help you in remembering these. This acronym is Mr. V Peach DVD. And each letter in Mr. V Peach DVD stands for something a little different. So, Mr. in this case, the M and the R, represent muerto and roto, or morir and romper. The V represents ver or visto, and then you have peach, puesto, escrito, abierto, cubierto, hecho, and DVD, dicho, vuelto, descubierto. These are several, not all, but several of the past participles that you see here that have been spelled out for you here. So hopefully that helps a little bit. As always, I have a little bit of practice for you. Number one says that yo ya entregar el papel. I have already turned in the paper. We know that the haber form to go with yo in this case should be in my first blank. For entregar, we're going to chop off our AR and we should add that yo ya he entregado. I have already turned in the paper. He entregado el papel. Number 2 says that mi mamá, and then my verb is hacer la cena. To say that my mom has already made dinner, I'm going to say that mi mamá ha hecho la cena. Notice that hecho is my regular form of hacer from up here. So, mi mamá ha hecho la cena. And number 3, vosotros, blankety blank, comer toda la pizza. You all have eaten all of the pizza. The vosotros form of haber in this case would be habéis, and you're going to take comer, remove your er, and add ido. So your final answer here should be that vosotros habéis comido toda la comida. All right, I have a few here for you to try that are very similar. It gives you a subject and a verb. I want you to practice conjugating these in the present perfect tense. Go ahead and pause your audio. When you're ready, you can unpause and give these a try. All right, now that you've had a second to look at these, let's take a look here. Number 1 says that tú and probar. We know that the haber form to go with tú should be has. For probar, we're going to chop off our ar, and we should get has probado. You have tried. Tú has probado. Number 2 gives us ustedes, blankety blank, and comer. To say that you all have eaten, we're going to take ustedes, and the haber word to go with ustedes should be han. For comer, we're going to chop off our er in comer and add ido. Ustedes han comido. And for number 3, ellas and regresar, to say that you all have returned, the haber word to go with ellas would be han, and regresar becomes regresado. I hope that this video has been helpful to you in reviewing the present perfect tense. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I will do the best I can to help you. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care.